This episode of Lore Drop is sponsored by Ray Clark. We miss you so much, Iron Sights. Come visit us in the desert.
Also, Rod, it's JD's turn to catch a stray. I need you to make fun of JD next time you see him, because he always, whenever he's talking to me about it, says Yalarona.
No, freaking Jared. Jared. I'll be listening to this, Jared.
Welcome to Lore Drop, a Reinvent podcast. I'm Abby, the executive director of Reinvent Productions.
I'm Ben, the creative and artistic director.
And our third-party member today is our friend...
Gerardo, I like to go by Rod.
Rod, he's like fighting for his life over there. He's got his Topo Chico.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm thirsty.
So Rod was recently in our production of Ordinary Heroes. He played the Sheriff Skull track, which started as Sheriff Bridges.
Yeah.
And also was a mafia thug and sleeper agent.
Yeah.
But today's character that we're going to be talking about most is going to be Maximilian Skull, which is very fun.
Maximilian.
Yep.
Yeah, that's his first name.
That's his full name?
Yeah.
Maximilian
Drops his
Skull.
government name out here.
So we're going to be talking about his Universe 17 character in comparison with the Universe 1 version that Rod played on stage. But before we get started with that, we got to decide the most important part of the episode, which is what animated trio the three of us are. And Rod, you said you had an idea.
Yeah, the first idea that popped in my head was Samurai Champloo.
Cool. Okay. Which characters we get?
I'm probably Jin.
Okay.
Abby, you're Mugen. And Ben is Fu.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. that tracks. Okay.
Love it.
Nice. Okay. So Ben, you want to start off with Universe 17 General Skull?
Yeah. So, in Universe 17, Maximilian Skull is not Sheriff Skull. He is General Skull.
Well, that's a pretty high promotion right there.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Good for him.
And I want to point out, before I get too into it, Rod made a joke during Ordinary Heroes that with the various characters he had, that he was just playing himself because of like...
Oh, yeah. We got typecasted.
Yeah. And once I started writing down these notes, and I was like, oh, no. Oh, it's not inaccurate. So General Skull was born in 1976, lives up until 2034 in Universe 17, and he is the leader and founder of the Skull Mercenaries, a group in the Reinvent world who seeks to do right by the common people most in need of protection. General Skull received intensive military training through, I forgot to update that part of it. It was not the Army, it was the United States Marines.
And that was before we met Rod.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. This was long set in stone because of a different character's backstory. So I was like, I looked at that and I was like, well, but aside from his Marine training, he has no special powers or abilities. That's all he's got. That and a good moral compass.
What's his favorite color? What's his favorite flavor?
I don't know. I don't feel qualified to answer that question.
Rod, which color did you say was the best of the crayons?
No, purple's my favorite.
Purple's your favorite?
Purple's my favorite. Like, it's a little too tarry. The blue one, I don't like the blue one.
That's crazy. Maybe by the end of like you hearing about General Skull, you could let
This is going to sound exactly like me.
You'll be able to tell us which color you think he likes the most.
But yeah, so General Skull's notable allies include Maurice Williams, Ironsights, Mora Rockfoot, and Warhead, and his notable adversaries include William Skull and the Gov. And so General Skull's first real-world appearance is in the Dynamite campaign in Universe Year 2025, Real World Year 2019. But General Skull and the Skull Mercenaries fought to save Juarez from the influence of the Gov. And so, to track back to his origins, we have to jump a little bit before Dynamite, back to 1990. Maximilian and his twin brother William both joined the U.S. Marines, and Max becomes a high-achieving Marine while his brother is dishonorably discharged. And so William goes on to do his own things. I don't know. I didn't do that much looking into it.
He was just a bad...
Yeah, we'll explore that at some point.
You just couldn't show up on time.
So I get a lot of military memes in my For You page, and I think it's just because of the family that I married into. My phone's listening, and there was one that popped up the other day that'll be like, oh, there's a firefight happening, and the soldier's like, okay, whatever, and it's like, and then the next one is like, hey, we're late for something, and they're like, no,
Freaking-
no.
Literally the end of the world.
And then the other one's like some other like scary thing, and then it's like, hey, you lost your little hat, and then they freaked out even more. And I
man.
was like,
It
that's
was my Marine hat.
my little hat.
I know a joke about him getting dishonorably discharged because he just couldn't show up, but I actually knew somebody that did happen to.
That's crazy.
And funny, we both re-enlisted at the exact same time, but then like 3 months later, he's getting kicked out because he just could not show up on time anymore.
That's
That's wild.
crazy.
He was going through it though, so I was like, yeah. But it tripped me out. Like, dude, you spent 4 years on point. Like,
Yeah.
you did everything right. 3 months into your first new enlistment, just said no.
Gone. Yeah. That's wild.
If only college students could be dishonorably discharged for not showing up.
But yeah, so the next big thing with General Skull is founding the Skull Mercenaries, and that is in 2014. He leaves the Marine Corps after sustaining a combat injury and not wanting to give up his dream of protecting people. He establishes the Skull Mercenaries to continue on with his work. And so the next big thing that we get from him is in 2024 when he recruits Maverick. He comes across Maurice Williams in the Deadwood Forest, which is a forest of entirely dead trees out in the deserts of Mexico.
That's a little on the nose, don't you think?
Yeah. And he recruits Maurice into the Skull Mercenaries with the promise of returning him to Dustry City after they've rescued Juarez from the Gov. And so then he gives Maurice the codename of Maverick while he's working under him. And so that is his main things before Dynamite, and so we pick up with him in Dynamite in the first major arc, which is the Juarez arc. General Skull and the Skull Mercenaries are taking shelter in their stronghold, and they meet up with Aurora, Adriana, and Severica, and they team up with the party there to fight off the Mad Fiddler, one of the Gov's hand-chosen mercenary assassins. And so after they defeat the Fiddler, General Skull joins the party to fight against the Gov in his mansion later on, and he is there for the whole thing. And after they win, after they beat the Gov, General Skull and the mercenaries are crowned the winners. So Rod, this is a fun little fact about Juarez and the Reinvent universe. They have this like Purge-esque competition once a year where all of the sort of it is all of the crime groups basically compete to see who has the most people left at the end of the night. And then they're the ones in charge for the next year.
Sounds pretty realistic to me.
Yeah.
Like, if
That's
it's not,
crazy.
like, it's been a minute since I've been to the border, but
A lot of this stuff is also inspired by my friend Gonzo would tell me stories because his family is from Juarez. And so and I was like, that's crazy. Shout out to Gonzo if he's listening to this.
That is nuts. I didn't realize that's where a lot of the inspiration came from.
Yeah.
Oh, Gonzo.
What a fun guy. But yeah, so that is his main contribution in the Juarez arc, and we see him next with the Earth Defense Legion later on in 2026. General Skull works with his crew, the Skull Mercenaries, 6 months. They spend rebuilding Juarez and with the sort of like infrastructure and community and a new like government system, basically. And then they peace out and say, all right, we're on to our next job. And so they go on, and it's early 2026. And then, wouldn't you know, the alien invasion starts. And so General
Rats.
Skull brings the Skull Mercenaries up to Pamia to join in the Earth Defense Legion as well. And it is here that General Skull meets Ironsights for the first time. Ironsights is the man who killed General Skull's twin brother, William.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And so
That's
this
a
was a
bummer.
little like awkward meeting where Ironsights just like saw him in the I think it was the mess hall and was just like, I thought I killed that man, and was like, oh no, that was my brother. And
Thanks for doing that.
no, yeah.
Don't worry, I'm
General
the good one.
Skull- Yeah, he apologizes for the sort of like turmoil and grief because William went the path of crime.
Crime.
And so was very much like moved back to their hometown of Sioux Falls, and basically worked for a corrupt mayor there. But we'll get into all of that when we get to an Ironsides episode later on down the line, because it's much more relevant there. But General Skull does thank him for killing his brother. And so,
that is crazy.
yeah.
That is nuts.
The next thing that he helps out with is in the Liberation of Rondor arc later in 2026. General Skull and the Skull Mercenaries secure the port of Castletown once the Lady Legacy actually breaks through the blockade, and they hold the back line there to prevent reinforcements from Project Alpha Alpha or Dravik from coming up and providing backup to Festus.
They were real ones.
And then the next big thing is in the 8 Days War arc, the final arc of the Dynamite campaign. General Skull and the Skull Mercenaries work underneath of Ironsight's leadership here on the front lines of the war. They are going around this is the Great Sands, is the new desert that they're in for this one. And they are together under Ironsight's leadership. They are able to take out 3 major leaders of Dravik's forces throughout this whole 8 Days War that's going on. And so pretty instrumental there. But yeah, and that is the majority of General Skull's contributions to Dynamite, and the next big thing that we get from him is right after Dynamite in 2027 when he joins the Stand. He ends up handing down leadership of the Skull Mercenaries to his second-in-command, Mora Rockfoot, and then General Skull is like, cool, you guys are sustainable without me. I'm going to go on. I'm going to help out the Stand with getting Destria City back under control. And so that is where we leave off with General Skull there in Universe 17. From there, we hop over to Universe 1 in Ordinary Heroes, where we don't have General Skull, we have Sheriff Skull.
A demotion.
Yeah, some major differences that we get here is that Maximilian Skull is the sheriff of Trickshot's story, originally named Max Bridges, and then in Volume 2 of Ordinary Heroes, his name is changed to Maximilian Skull and Sheriff Skull. And so Sheriff Bridges / Skull Sheriff Bridges is a neutral antagonist towards Trickshot early on in his stories, whereas Sheriff Skull, once he makes that transition, is just an outright villain, very, very antagonistic towards Trickshot, and ends up getting killed by Trickshot in a little like shootout in their saloon. And so, but he's not dead for long because he is shortly thereafter raised back to life as a zombie by Witch Doctor, and then he ends up shooting Trickshot, which is part of the whole like distraction there in the fight that happens. But yeah, so in Universe 1, Sheriff Skull is a zombie now. And so his notable allies include Doc Patterson / Witch Doctor, and his notable adversary is Trickshot.
It is terrifying to me that Gary. It is terrifying to me that Wendell's grief made him make zombies that can shoot guns.
Yeah.
That's one of the scariest parts of that whole thing.
Just like past the id, past the ego, into the super ego, all the way to whatever trauma I have stuff back there. Gun. Zombies with guns.
Yep.
Like zombies that are able to run I think are the scariest zombies. Like fast zombies are terrifying. Like if they're slow, like whatever, like it's just when there's a lot of them. But like a zombie that can shoot a gun accurately, that's the other thing. It's like, man, that's crazy.
I forgot we left him as a zombie.
Yeah.
For here, I completely forgot. He's just living life as a zombie now.
He did. He did.
Yeah, man. Who else was it?
George was the other one.
George.
Yeah.
So it was you and Justin.
Yeah.
Which Justin's zombie. When we've talked to him about his zombie form that he did, and that like he was using animalistic inspiration for it, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. That was one of my favorite physical things to watch in like a oh, this is really
kind of like uncomfortable,
but like you can't look away because it's so good.
No, he is. He knows. He's very kinesthetically aware of like how to move his body. I was copying him because like, yo, that looks good.
Yes, another episode where we're singing Justin Gonzalez's praises. But yeah, no, that was that scene in particular was overall, that whole scene, because we have Trickshot's funeral at the end of it, was an interesting one to tackle. Especially, we had a last minute switch in casting just for personal reasons. Deacon ended up stepping into that role, and so the challenge on top of like one just getting that scene to play out the way it needed to, because that was a scene where, because of all the action that was happening, we were like, we probably need to not use the scripts for this one, or at least use them as like little as possible. And you guys were rock stars with it, because we were pretty goofy with the first couple shootouts because we had the music stands with it, and we were like, let's play it up, ha ha ha. And then but when we get to the third time of y'all doing it, it was tense to watch, in the best way possible. But there always was a crowd gathered around the TV monitor watching that scene before we all came on. Did you enjoy playing a cowboy?
I was, yeah. It was actually a lot of fun. My costume, I just feel like I look like my dad because my dad dresses somewhat like that. And also, I'm just grateful I got to use my freaking Arthur Morgan impression.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good.
I was just happy I finally got to do that.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, I like playing stupid characters. Not stupid characters, but just characters that are just very out there, very different. And just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Sheriff Skull and Sheriff Bridges was that.
I am very interested about the pipeline of Marine to actor.
That
I was like,
how it kind of just happens.
yeah.
To me, I heard Adam because I look up to him. I think he's a good actor, and he wanted to be in the Marine Corps forever.
Yeah.
But he got not kicked out. He got medically discharged because he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
And started going to Juilliard, started acting. But he kind of fell in love with theater. I think for the same reason I did, is that, or the way I did, I kind of fell into it. It just felt very natural because you'd be very surprised how similar theater, especially theater, is to the military. Yeah. Because everybody has a role. Everybody has like kind of like their position. Like the stage manager in charge of the stage, doing all the cues, doing everything. The director's in charge of like the artistic vision, make sure everything gets done. If anything goes wrong, it's their fault. Just like if the CEO's in charge of a company, if anything goes wrong, it's his fault, their fault. Like every actor has their roles, every actor has the lines, every scenic designer has a place. Just like in a Marine Corps, everybody has a job, everybody has a place to be, like a part to play. That we all kind of go into this bigger thing. Like we're all working for something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I kind of just fell into it, like very naturally, without really thinking. I mean, I didn't really think about it. I wore a freaking bunny outfit at the second play every day. I was like, oh yeah, I guess this is just my life now.
So how did you get into? Did you do theater before you joined up?
I did a little bit of acting in church, but that was like nothing really serious, just messing around. But then,
did you guys do like the nativity thing? Or,
yeah, pretty much. I played Jesus a lot.
Yes.
We try to make it fun, but I guess when I started doing theater, it was when I got out the Marine Corps. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like, was kind of lost, like every other Marine that gets out. So I went to school, decided to get my general education knocked out, which included an elective, which was an acting class. And the theater program there was apparently really good, and the teacher liked me a lot. So I just kept doing it.
And that was when you were in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's when I lived in Hawaii.
Well, now you're here at Texas Tech.
Now I'm here in Lubbock.
The exact opposite of Hawaii, I feel like.
It's affordable. So yeah, exact opposite.
It's affordable and dry as opposed to beautiful and expensive. So you've been doing the acting stuff, and then also you write as well. When it comes to making new work or like acting, whatever, like what draws you into a project? Like what are you interested in doing as a storyteller and performer and all that jazz?
I never know how to answer that. It's kind of like the question you got, like, oh, what do you like to write? Oh, drama, comedy, this and that. It's like, to me, just, I want to be part of something I'm proud to put my name on. Like, I don't know, I'm one of those people, like, if I sign something, I'm going to make sure everything in it is right, the way it should be, before I put my name on it. Because, like, I know it does mean something to me, and I know I want to be part of a project, like, when I did my best, tried, everything out of my control, I just let it go and just focus on what it could do. And that's really what more attracts me. I want to do something well and make something well with good people.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's how I first met you, was through writing stuff with script writers. And that's one that, like, I'm a huge fan of your writing. It's always so, like, the way I would always, because this was usually after any script writers meeting, me and Ella would just, like, walk and, like, get lunch or whatever, and just, like, talk about whatever we were reading that day. But I think the thing that always came up whenever we read your stuff was how much, like, your writing and the things you write about, or the things you would present to us, were always so, like, specifically from, like, your background and your point of reference. And it was something about that, like, being from such a very specific lived experience makes it so easy to, like, enjoy the story, quite frankly. Because it's like, I know enough about, military life from my parents, right? But my parents are Army, not Marines. And so it's like, there's enough similarities there, but also, like, it was just something that anytime that, like, we would read your stuff, I would be like, oh man, we're going to get something, like, really, really, like the intensity of it would be very, like, there'd be a lot of varied intensity to it. But it would always be something that would make me just, like, have so many questions and, like, want to learn and read more afterwards. Like, I remember when you were bringing in your stuff that ended up being part of Ghost Project. That was, like, that monologue was one that I was like, I I want
Oh, the
so
owl
much more.
Yeah,
of this.
yeah. the Chusa, yeah.
I want a whole show about that owl.
I appreciate all that, by the way. Thank you, really do. Is yeah, that owl one is I had an idea for that one. I want to make that one into like a little bit of an anthology because there was some stuff from Ghost Project that got cut. Like we wrote a piece for La Llorona, or I wrote one, but it was we had to cut it for time, and two, the one that I wrote was a little heavy.
Yeah,
because involved drug abuse.
I was like, that was
kids.
the overdose one.
Yeah, that was the overdose one.
Yeah, I remember Emma talking about that one.
Oh, yeah, so we had to cut that one. And I have an idea for that one. Like, I want to put Lechuza, that one, La Llorona, some other Mexican-American folktales into, like, this little anthology series where they all kind of, like, live, except I changed La Llorona. She's not going to be the OD one. I want La Llorona to be a story of her helping a group of kids cross the Texas and Mexican border where they have to cross the river. Just kind of like her making up for how she killed her kids. She helped these kids cross the border and like helped did everything they could to give them a life.
cool.
Oh,
That's
really
the
cool.
basic synopsis of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Because I wanted to play with the legend of La Llorona, the rules that she has. Like if you hear her from far away, she's right next to you. If you hear her scream and it's like sounding like really close to you, that means she's far away. And just play with that.
We need to connect you and JD because one of the NPCs that he's written that actually is in Talon Squad Trust and Turmoil. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Zyra is. So JD has written this character that is La Llorona or like was.
Yeah, is the inspiration for the folklore and myth
Yes,
behind.
yeah.
In Universe 17, it's like, oh no, the legend of La Llorona is based off of this character.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry, JD, whenever you listen to this, I promise I've read everything you've written. He just writes so much and that I'm like having a hard time remembering all the things. And it's also a Monday and I'm tired.
Also, Rod, it's JD's turn to catch a stray. I need you to make fun of JD next time you see him because he always, whenever he's talking to me about it, says Ya Llorona.
No, freaking Jared. Jared. Hope you're listening to this, Jared.
It's crazy. But yeah, no, I really want us to have more folktale stuff in Reinvent, just with how big it is and how many like different cultures that we've been playing with and building. I think your stuff really, like your writing style. All this to say, I want you to come write with us. Come play with us. Come do it more. There is a play that you wrote for the last time that they did Frontier Fest at Tech. That was a boxing play. It was Chris Patterson directed it.
Chris.
Yeah, because I came and helped with their boxing a little bit. And honestly, that was one of my favorite things I saw Antonio Lowe act in as a dad. And I don't even know how to describe Rod's work other than like it really is just something that like whenever I'm watching something that you wrote or reading something that you wrote, like I want to pay attention like intently to it. I have raging ADHD. If we couldn't tell that from the last however many episodes we have made of this podcast. But whenever I'm seeing work from like certain people, I'm like locked in to it. And I think a lot of it honestly is because you write like how you speak. I mean, because you're bilingual, and so like you'll have some characters start speaking in Spanish, and I know enough Spanish that I can, like, if I hear it, I'll be like, I can sometimes catch up, translate in my head with it. But I loved that boxing play so much. And I do think it's really cool to like have the different languages being spoken throughout the play, and it's just how the characters talk. And the same for your the one that you did for First Light too. That gosh, this is just a fan podcast for Rod's writing now.
That boxing one, I wrote the idea for it when I was in Hawaii doing a playwright workshop where they said write something in a way where you know the jargon to it, like you know the language to it. And for me at the time, like I used to do MMA in the Marine Corps, and that's when I used to started boxing, competed a little bit. And I was like, I know a little bit about that, so I just kind of wrote something like using that jargon of like hand wraps, being able to do this. And I really like that one just because it just, like, I don't know, like two things I love, which is fighting, like MMA, and just whenever I write things, I try to think, what are they really trying to say? Because kind of like, do you guys, y'all saw Language Archive, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I remember the line in it that said, what is language if not an act of faith? Is that like the purpose of language to express yourself? And maybe you may be misunderstood, you may be completely felt, or maybe the exact opposite, you may be rejected completely and totally. So I don't know, just like dialogue to me, like especially in plays, that is the bread and butter. That is how you're going to get the important bit across. And yeah, that's kind of what I felt. Also, I'm very grateful that I was in the Marine Corps for so long before I started writing, doing anything, because I'm from Plainview, which is like 20,000 people. And then I went from that to being surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of people from all different parts of the United States. And we all had to work together. Yeah. So communication was the thing that we had to focus on, or the important thing that we really did have to like narrow in on.
Another thing I really liked about your boxing play, like with the idea that like words are so important, and especially with language, that taking it a step further with the work that I do with like fight choreography is that like it's like the idea with musicals, people start singing because the words aren't enough, they have to sing, they have to dance now. Same thing with fights, is that you've run out of words to say at that point. Like you're one of my favorite lines is from Scottish play of like Macduff saying like, I have no words, my words are in my sword. And they have a really awesome sword fight, which is why one of my bigger pet peeves that I have to kind of get over with writing action stuff is when people start talking in the middle of fights, because it's like you're not gonna start talking during a fight.
You don't do a monologue. You ever watch UFC?
Yeah, no, they're not monologuing in there.
They're not doing quick banter with each other.
Yeah, so it's like finding that balance of like, I mean, today I was training with Justin Crawl. We were working on a sword fight, just messing around. It's nice outside and playing with the long swords, and the storytelling that you can do with physicality where the fighting becomes its own dialogue, I think is really interesting. And you had that within the boxing play with the bit of stage combat that was in that, which was just fun to get to help out, because Chris had really good choreography for it already, because he was one of our boxers in cycles, so he had a lot of experience like doing fight choreography as a boxer, and then he asked me to come in and double check it to make sure sight lines and all that jazz were there. But writers like you are able to kind of set up fight directors for success of being able to be like, oh, this material is really great for us to add on to language. It's like adding another language through the violence is always a good time.
Because I know I've seen stage direction where it just says, and they fight.
That's me.
Yep, that's Ben.
No, for that one, I wanted that to be intentional, the way they moved it with the pads. It's because he's saying this, he's saying, "Oh, do a 1, 2, 3," but he doesn't do that. He does something else, and that's why he gets like. To me, it added more to it. Like he's clearly not thinking about what you're saying right now. His mind is somewhere else.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if you've done pad work before, like it is like
you gotta focus.
You have to focus, or you will get bopped.
Yeah.
To get your focus. Circling back to Ordinary Heroes, Rod, how is this experience compared to other performance experiences you've had in Lubbock or in Hawaii or other places?
This is actually the first stage reading I got to be a part of. Even though it wasn't 100% of stage reading, some parts it was easier to get off book. But no, it was like the first time it was like being part of a really good game that's still in its alpha release. Like a game that you're like really excited. You see where it's going to go. You see what ideas they have. But you know it's not the finished product yet. It's like you're playing a beta pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like doing. Because in my mind, if I see this 100% on its feet, oh yeah, like one's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Acting-wise and especially fight-wise, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, it'd be great to have like a $10,000 budget for that show. That'd be really cool.
But yeah, it was technically the first stage reading I ever did, and I don't know, I thought it was a good process. Thought people were cool.
It was very fun to get to. I like saying was like a crazy crossover episode, because there were people from like our previous theater experience, and then there's people from tech, and then there's like other people, and we're like putting them all together, and I was like, well, you're here and you're here.
Yeah. Well, and it was so like part of it reminded me, there was this interview that I don't remember if it was Matt Mercer or Travis Willingham. Someone from the Critical Role team did an interview about either Vox Machina or the Mighty Nine TV show that they're currently doing. And like in their like producing like pre-production discussions, they're like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if we could get this voice actor to do this role and like come in and be this person, right? And then they would just be like, well, there's no harm in asking them, like reach out to their agent or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just entirely like shooting for the stars, and then it's like, oh, they said yes. Now what do we do? Like they said yes. That's how a lot of like the Ordinary Heroes casting felt too, of just like, all right, who do we know who's around and available right now who can fill in this role? Well, there's this person. Do we think they'll do it? I don't know, worth a shot. And then just the amount of like, oh.
Oh, you said yes?
Like, yeah, sure.
You suckers.
Yeah.
You said yes. No, I joke. It's a little bit of a joke that I feel like I have tricked so many people into doing things. Like there was one day, it was right before our Christmas break. I had some of the principal actors that were available and the ones that like I needed to set some fight choreography. But and you were there that day too. I think the day that I had everybody watch a My Hero Academia episode. Yeah, no, I was sitting in the back of the theater having everybody watch an OVA episode of My Hero Academia, and like just the attentiveness of all these adults watching this anime on the projection site in our theater.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was sitting in the back, I was like, these suckers, I've tricked a bunch of adults into watching anime. But like, I mean, it was helpful. Like we did like, we had like a great discussion about like adaptation and all that jazz.
The heroes and stuff. We also, I remember that
on
night.
Stage.
Yeah. Because I remember we looked into the live stage adaptations
the
Sure,
stage
a little bit.
of the
adaptations.
shows, which is funny because after we talked about that, Demon Slayer, the live stage started popping up on my Prime feed.
Yes. Your phone was listening. He was like, "Oh, you want to watch this really
you
cool
like?
theater?"
That was really good.
I remember the episode we watched. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because like,
The bank robbery.
the bank
episode.
robbery is like,
Save the world with love.
save the world, love, and they're like, oh, he was in on it the whole time. That was all fake blood. Like, how did you expect him to know that? Like, seriously,
You dumb kids.
what hoops did you expect him to freaking know?
When he laughed, he was giving you a hint.
I thought he just didn't know how to act. My bad.
Yeah.
No. Apparently, no. You had to like commit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those.
Listen, as a teacher, sometimes I do intentionally plan like kind of stupid stuff like that to trick my kids because I know that they're like not full of themselves, but sometimes they get a little bit too like
Too big for their
in their head
britches.
or
So you need
too
to knock 'em
confident.
down
And
a
I'm like,
peg.
okay, listen, it's simpler than you think it is actually.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes
And also sometimes there's some joy that comes in watching your students struggle a little bit. Like especially and I'm sorry for any of my students who are listening to this and are not in the class I'm about to say, but my favorite class is my tech theater class.
Oh, he just said it. He said it right out.
But the thing about that is that like that batch of students has come so far from being like mostly a little bit indifferent at the beginning of the year to being so like, all right, what are we doing today? And just like no other questions than what is my job right now?
Yeah.
And just from like doing the learning and the projects and everything. And they're all like, okay, we're doing this. Cool. Sounds good to me, right?
Yeah, they're like ready to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so like having that sort of mentality, and then I'll be like, okay, cool. All right, we've got a bunch of like cables that I need to get put away. All right, you guys are learning how to coil cables today. And they're all like, yeah, cool. Works for us.
Which
and
is
then,
a vital life skill.
yes. And so it's so lovely now because I'll be like, okay, cool. Someone coil up this cable, and then one of them will just go for it. I don't have to like supervise them doing it every second of the day, right? Which is not the case with all of my classes.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much what I heard is like, I like this class because they actually care.
And that's like, I do have a lot of students in like a good half of my classes, a little more than half of my classes, 2/3 of them care.
Yeah. The other
but-
one are freshmen that don't want to be,
Yeah, there's
that
students
just don't want to be there.
There's students in my Theater 1 classes who like care about the stuff, but it's one of those. It's like, okay, cool. This is still very much the introductory thing. And it's like at the beginning of the year, I had these like high hopes of like, no, they'll be able to just do a play at the end of the year. No, it's enough for them to be able to read and analyze a play at this point.
Which, you know what? That's a win. Right
Yes,
there.
it
Yeah,
is.
honestly.
Yeah. I had recently, we were hosting a 1-act contest, and so I was out for 2 days, and so their assignment was to like write an analysis, like a review on play that they had been a musical they had been listening to, and the ones who did turn it in were pretty good reviews. I was like, nice, these are pretty good. Of the I think 8 of them that turned it in across those 3 classes. But yeah.
When I was a kid in high school, I would have been one of the students you hated. Like, I'd be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Rod's outing himself.
Nah,
He
I'm
was
just
a
being honest.
hooligan.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why I picked the Marines after high school. Like college
There's
is
nothing
not.
wrong with it. I do like I do love
He
like
wanted to go break stuff.
Yeah.
I
Want to go be a man?
I want to say I love all of my students. I love 99% of my students.
That's crazy.
Sounds
It's like it's so
generous.
high.
I used to teach Sunday school. Like,
Yeah. But it's and there's some who's like, okay, cool. Some of you are just in here for the elective, and that's fine. That's you'll get out of this what you'll get into it, and I still enjoy having them while I have them. You know, and there are some that like they send out the list of like, okay, and these are the students who signed up to take these theater classes next year, and there are some who signed up for theater too, and I was like, excuse me, you enjoyed this enough to take it again? That's a shock to me, but okay,
I mean,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's interesting to see the impact you have on young people
Mhm.
when there's sometimes where I've worked with kids before that I'm like, is this even worth it?
Well, and that's
And
the
then
thing
down
too.
the road, they're like, oh, I'm so grateful for this. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Well, that's the thing is like I know some of the kids who like do get on my nerves sometimes and like will purposely try to like push my buttons and like antagonize me a little bit. And I'm like, listen, I know that I am still one of their preferred teachers because I'm the one who writes them up the least. So I'm like, I see what other teachers write about you and what you do in their class. I count myself lucky that you don't do that in my class, at least. You know, I must be doing something right from a classroom management perspective then.
Yeah. You bring home such entertaining stories.
I haven't had a student swear me out yet. Not one of my students, at least.
Before we wrap up today's episode, Rod, do you have anything you want to shout out?
the only thing I really have to shout out is First Light, which is our New Works Play Festival at Texas Tech. It's ran by script writers, Red Theater Company, APO, USITT. It's mostly student ran, student produced, everything's student involved. The teachers, they kind of just let us do our own thing.
Yeah. It's in the black box this year,
It
too.
is in the black box. We're moving on up.
Nice, yeah.
That's so cool.
Because last year we had a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we just had
A room with lights, but a room.
a room. And
We had standing room only one of those nights.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that was really
I
cool to
remember
see.
that. Yeah, that's performances are May 2nd and May 3rd at 3 p.m.
Are you performing? You got something in there.
I got nothing in it other than to just help out with the planning.
Nice.
Gotcha.
But students all wrote it. It's all student actors, all student directors. Yep, all student designers. So yeah,
And it's free.
it's free. Yes,
Awesome.
it is free.
We'll have information in our show notes about that. So if you're in Lubbock, come watch this show. It's honestly, it was something that Ben helped spearhead last year, and the fact that it still lives is great.
Yeah, still going.
It's very exciting to see the work that's happening at Texas Tech and in the greater Lubbock area. Our next episode of Lore Drop is going to be a super special one because we will have not one but two guests.
Whoa.
We will have Beth and James talking about Mr. and Mrs. Fahrenheit. They played our mom and dad in well, not our mom and dad, Ben's mom and dad,
Yeah.
Wendell's mom and dad
There we go.
in Ordinary
Bendels.
Heroes, and their superhero counterparts were Mr. and Mrs. Fahrenheit. They are wonderful friends, and we are so excited to have them on to talk about their super personas. So be on the lookout for that next episode.
And remember,
Being fantastic starts with being a fan.
Reinvent Productions is proudly sponsored by 5 Points Corporation Lubbock and Savannah Rashida Photography, as well as our other wonderful community patrons. Our home base in Lubbock is Hollingsworth Hall Cultural Center at 4228 Boston Avenue. For more information on how to support our 501c3 organization, you can check out our website at www.reinvent-productions.com. To directly support our upcoming audio drama, you can become a Lore Drop sponsor. For just $10, you can sponsor an episode of this podcast. All donations will go towards support for our upcoming production of Children of Destiny Cataclysm Season 1, which will begin releasing episodes June 22nd, 2026. Funds will go towards paying our wonderful voice actors and creative staff for their fantastic talent and time. We have over 30 artists globally working on this production, and we can't wait for you to hear it this summer. You can donate at givebutter.com/Lore Drop sponsor. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at reinvent.productions, as well as on Facebook and Twitch, where we stream gaming and a look behind the scenes on how we create our new works. Be sure to follow us to stay in the loop about upcoming productions, auditions, and more. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Lore Drop.